Justin Trudeau cut off vaccine shipments to Alberta because he failed to procure enough of them. But this is not the first time during this pandemic that Trudeau left Alberta high and dry. Trudeau left Alberta PPE on a tarmac in China, and then he lied about the reason why. And we have the proof today in internal PMO emails. Do you remember when 2 planes sent by Trudeau to retrieve medical PPE from China came back completely empty? This was all after Trudeau sent 17 tons of Canadian medical PPE to China at the height of the pandemic, when we didn't know how bad it was or how bad it would be. But we did definitely know that China was not telling the truth about the coronavirus. And Trudeau's actions left Canada dangerously short of precious medical PPE. Well, at the time, Trudeau told us that it was fine because China was, a good friend and would in turn eventually send it all back to us. And then China didn't, because the commies who run the place are a bunch of lying liars. Well, take a look at this in the CBC from at the time. A cargo jet chartered by the federal government to deliver badly needed personal protective equipment, PPE, from China was forced to leave the airport in Shanghai without the shipment on board. The precious cargo of pandemic supplies wasn't lost or bought out by another country. Instead, the government says delays caused by a spike in cargo flights meant the delivery trucks couldn't get to the Canadian plane on time, forcing it to return to Canada without its load. This occurred due to on-the-ground congestion caused by a significant surge in cargo flights out of the terminals at the Shanghai airport. As a result, the intended cargo was unable to get to the plane before its required takeoff time, said Emily Harris, Director of Communications at Public Services and Procurement Canada. Well, friends, now I can tell you which Canadians were in fact denied that precious cargo. It was, as it always seems to be, us Albertans, and specifically the Métis Nation of Alberta. And I can show you that the excuse the government used about last-minute, quote, congestion was not true. The government was not blindsided. Rather, they knew for, quote, a while that Canada's planes were coming back empty or light. It's all here in this internal document tabled to the Health Committee. It's a PMO email, and we can see the PMO is scrambling because someone they describe as a friendly, yes, they use that word, a friendly, is mad at them for getting screwed over by the federal government. That friendly is the Métis Nation of Alberta. Look at this. Now, Rick Thies is the Director of Policy and Cabinet Affairs in the Prime Minister's office, and this damning message was sent to him from the executive director of the Métis Nation. I'll read the whole message here because, like I said, it's damning and it is in direct opposition to the official PMO talking points on the empty planes scandal, those talking points about congestion. It reads, Rick, it would be nice to get some help on this. I don't think I can hold my team back much longer. Now, that's a Métis Nation team. Those empty planes last weekend were not supposed to be empty. We have known for a while that Canada's planes were coming back empty or light. So the team made a deal with Canada that Alberta Health Services PPE was to come back on those planes. Unfortunately, Alberta Health Services PPE was left on the tarmac during a pandemic. This is completely unacceptable. After the deal was made, we have a tape recording of a Procurement Canada employee saying there is no way he would ever allow our products on the plane. To make it worse, the PPE order for the Métis Nation governments was supposed to be on that plane that came back empty. This is all more of the same, though, isn't it, friends? Trudeau promised fresh drinking water on Canada's reserves, and he failed to deliver on that. Now he's shorted Indigenous people on medical PPE during a pandemic. Trudeau's ineptitude ground Alberta's highly successful vaccination program to a halt. But his punishment of Albertans in this pandemic and in general is a feature of his style of leadership and not a bug. Much like his climate plan, Trudeau helped China and hurt Alberta. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Have you received a pandemic lockdown ticket? Well, if you have, I don't want you to pay it. I want you to fight it. I want you to send it to us at fightthefines.com, and let's take your ticket in front of a real judge. And if you have yet to receive a lockdown ticket, but you'd like to join the fight for civil liberties, one pandemic ticket at a time, you can donate at that special website, fightthefines.com.